What up, bro?
Yo, what up, baby?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How you been, man?
I've been real good. How about you?
Been good too, man. Everything's going good now.
Uh,
All
con-
that hard work's paying off now, finally.
Yeah. Oh, congrats on the new home.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
What city you in?
We're in Chino now. I was in West Covina, but now I'm in Chino. I love it out here.
Chino. Where's Chino? Uh,
Chino's like off the 71. It's where's Chino nearby? What other cities are close by Chino? It's Chino Hills, Diamond Bars. Chino Hills, Diamond Bars,
oh, okay,
around
okay.
that area.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. Hey, man. Congrats on all the success.
Thank you. Thank you.
Seeing you popping up everywhere. How do you choose the color of your hair?
I choose the color of my hair just depending on I don't know how I'm feeling. Sometimes I get my girlfriend to come up with the designs as well. But the first time I actually ever dyed my hair was because I seen like Bad Bunny and J Balvin, all these reggaeton artists.
Yeah.
I seen them dye their hair and I was like, oh shit, what happens if I dye my hair and fucking wore it come fight night and like during the press conference because at this time I was fighting on the Canelo card, so there was gonna be a lot of like people like seeing me in a lot of eyes, doing a lot of interviews, doing the grand arrivals and all that stuff. So I was
Yeah.
like, man, in order for me to stand out, I gotta do something different. So that's when I decided to color my hair blue. But the girl, she ended up not even doing it blue. She did it like a whole bunch of different other colors as well. So when I got there, everybody was calling me like cotton candy hair and shit. So
It worked though. It got you noticed.
yeah, it did. It did. It worked, man.
Yeah. Uh, hey, man. So it's ridiculous. You're 27, right?
Yeah.
So Boxrec has you ranked at number one in the U.S., number seven in the world. So at 27 years old, with 32 professional fights, uh, an extensive amateur background, do you consider yourself a veteran yet?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I thought I considered myself a veteran after the Gary Russell loss. After I lost against Gary Russell, I just considered myself as a veteran. Not only because I finally tasted defeat, so I knew how defeat was, and I knew what I had to do in order to get back on top. A lot of people, they don't once they taste defeat, they want to, sometimes they feel bad, or sometimes they have that doubt in them where they're like, man, then maybe I wasn't able to become champion, wooty woo and all that stuff. And with me, I had those doubts for a little bit, but then I was like, man, I've been boxing my whole life. I've been doing all this stuff. I've been gaining all this experience, and one loss is not going to define me. So after that fight, I really consider myself as a veteran inside the ring because not only am I a very skilled fighter as far as a boxer, but I think I'm very smart mentally as well. And as far as my ring generalship, knowing when I heard my opponent, seeing their reactions, seeing exactly what they're going to throw at me before they even throw it, I just feel like I'm an overall veteran inside the ring now.
Yeah. Because how many amateur fights do you end up having?
Shit, I had about I think it was about like 130 something amateur fights. But
Yeah.
I mean, me and you, we traveled all around the world
Yeah.
together too, man. So
Uh,
like
wh-
we seen so many things.
yeah. What was it? We were pranking each other back and forth.
Yeah, hey, no, no. How about that? One time when we downloaded that Words with Friends, and I
Oh,
challenged you to play me,
oh, you
and the whole
cheating.
time I was cheating. The
Yo,
whole time I was cheating.
oh, and tell your pops he don't want that smoke either.
Hey, I remember you used to play my dad in chess too, man. Those were the
Yeah,
days, bro.
yeah.
Good times.
Wait, were you? Was it you and Nova that left? Try to leave out of France early?
No, that was fucking I think it was Sosa,
Oh,
Pedro Sosa.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I think. Which trips did we take together?
We took I think we went to
Azerbaijan.
not Germany. We went to Italy together. Then we went to Azerbaijan.
Oh, okay.
But we were in Italy together too.
Yeah, without Wi-Fi.
I remember we did that dual match.
Yeah. I,
Yeah,
yeah.
man, it was some good times.
That was good. Yeah. I didn't realize what we were doing at the time, like how cool it was. But now that I can look back at it, I'm
Yeah,
happy I
same
went.
here, man. Same here. Whenever I look back, I was like, man, I remember during that time, like we were all wanting to go home. We were like fucking sick and tired of everything, sick and tired of the training. We are like,
Yeah,
what the fuck are we doing here?
even the
All
free
that
food
stuff.
at
But
the
now that
Olympic
we look
Training
back at it,
Center.
it's like, damn, crazy, man.
Yeah, even the free food at the Olympic Training Center. Like
Oh yeah, it was delicious.
until you were there for 6 weeks.
For real.
Uh,
Then we started ordering Papa John's. Remember across the street.
Hopping the fence. Uh, hey, so when you're so when we're on the team together, we have to do like whatever the national team coach does, and it's different than what your home coach does. Uh, so like when you prep for the Olympics, you had to train a certain way, like the way they did for with Team USA. Which ways has your training has changed since you've turned to become professional?
I think my training's changed. As far as I think mental, like the mental aspect, as far as the Olympics and having that tight schedule and having you just being focused on your boxing career and on your fight and what you got to achieve. I think that I still have a lot of that from the Olympics, but I think I changed a lot as far as just doing a lot more, running a lot more miles, just adding on to after every single fight. Wanted to adjust, so after every single fight, I added on to my training. Sometimes I added on my strength conditioning, I added on doing legs, I added on doing agility drills, all that stuff. I think it's all added on, but I think what actually helped me out the most is my nutrition. I think whenever I diet, whenever I'm in camp, I diet like to the T. I make sure me and my father and my strength conditioning coach, we all have that nutrition down to the T, because we know how hard it is to get to that weight for us fighters. Not only that, but to actually have the full on conditioning and the full on energy to fight a 12-round fight now. Since before, back in the amateurs, it was only 3 rounds, 3 minutes. Now you're fighting at a championship elite level where you got to make sure that your gas tank is able to go 12 rounds at 3 minutes. So it all has to do with a lot of nutrition and a lot of how you're building your heart rate whenever you're working out. But I feel like the nutrition is what is more impacting during my professional career now.
Dope. And you've always been a warrior. But so it's cool. It's cool to see you. Actually, it was awesome to see you win and rock the Kobe jersey,
Oh yeah, man.
bro.
Hey, I had to do that,
That was
especially because literally when it was during fight week, so we were on the airplane, and right when I was on the airplane, someone was like, "Hey, oh my God, did you see what happened?" And I thought something was going on. I was like, "Fuck, like are we gonna fucking die or something?" And then after he was like, "No, Kobe died." So I looked and I was like, "What the hell? Are you serious?" And then yeah, sure enough, man, like me and my girlfriend, we just ended up started looking up my like on the news feed and stuff, and yeah, he passed away, man. So it was shocking to me because I didn't think it was true, especially like me going like to my championship fight and during fight week and all that
yeah,
stuff. I was like, man, this can't be true, man. But
yeah,
man, it was very sad and very
yeah.
heartbreaking. So that's why I knew that I had to represent Kobe, especially during that time. It was fight week. I'm from the West Coast. I wanted to represent the West Coast with the guy on my jersey, the guy that is the true legend out here in the West Coast.
Yeah.
So it was just an honor wearing Kobe Bryant's jersey.
It was a beautiful tribute, man. It was
Thank you.
definitely a good look. Uh, so for you, when you're not in training camp, when you're not prepping for a fight, when you have nothing coming up, how often do you run?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I hardly run during my off seasons. I let my body rest. I let my body rest to its fullest, because when I'm in training camp, man, I run about 2 times a day, every single day for about
Two times?
for, yeah, 2 times a day. So like I'll run in the morning, depending on if I have strength and conditioning or if I have just a regular day. In the morning, I'll run like about 4 miles, 5 miles, or if I have strength and conditioning, then I'll do my strength work. But always at night, I always run about 5, 6 miles on the treadmill just to. I don't run it at a fast pace. I run it at a slow pace, and I just go for I can lose weight, but I'm still putting on those constant miles and that constant running. So whenever I'm on my break, I make sure that I let my body just rest. I run here and there. I would say I run about 4 times out of the time I'm in outside of camp, and I have about like 2 months off after every single camp. So I mean, it's not too bad, but it is kind of like bad because I start eating differently when I'm outside of training camp. So
Yeah.
when I'm like eating like the hot dogs and the cheeseburgers, and then I'm not burning anything, that's why us fighters gain weight so fast, because we're not actually putting the work in as we do when we're actually in training camp, and that's why we gain so much weight.
Yeah. Yeah. It. Luckily, the heavyweights, I was good back then, but
Hey, I know, dude. I used to hate hanging out with you, and when we used to make weight, especially you, man. You used to have all the snacks.
oh yeah, I was selling snacks in Azerbaijan. I was selling.
You were. I was too. I was calling them to Josh Hart,
Yeah,
Jesse Hart. I mean,
yeah, Jesse Hart.
Jesse Hart.
Man, uh, so so weight wise, you fought at was it 23?
130. Right now, I'm the 130 champion.
No,
Yeah.
no, I know. And in the amateurs, you were at
Oh, in the amateurs, it was 123.
23. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how hard is it for you to make weight at 130 now?
It's not too hard for me. Usually I gain about, like, when I'm outside, and once I start my training camp, I weigh about 150 to 155 max, depending on if I took like 2 months off, 3 months off, then I'll be, my heaviest will be like around 155. But I make sure that I have a 2 month, almost 10-week training camp. So I make sure that I start cutting right away. A lot of these fighters, when they're heavy, they want to try to lose the weight, just so dramatically and so fast, right in the last minute, where it's just really bad for the body. And not only that, it's just weakening your body. And when you want to perform at your best, you can't perform because of all the damage it took. So I make sure that me and my father and just my team, we make sure that I check my weight right when I get into camp, and then we just go from there. We got to see and adjust how much I got to knock off, and whatever it is, man, I make sure that I have a 2 month and a half camp just so my body could adjust, and that way I can start eating less calories, burning more calories, because it's all about just burning more calories than what you're intaking during training camp.
Yeah. And during your training camps, do you do a lot of sparring?
Not too much anymore, man, because I was actually looking up that CTE, all the brain damage and the brain trauma and stuff, because I've been like really reading into all that stuff, because I am a professional fighter, and I just want to make sure that later on when I'm retired, man, that I'm okay. I have all my right senses. I have my family. I have my kids, and I just don't want my kids to see me so messed up or so fucked up from all the damage I took in my head. So whenever we're in training camp, we make sure that I get about, say, I get about 2 12-rounders in for sure, and then I'll get 4 10-rounders, and then I'll get about 6 to 7. No, about like 6. Yeah, 8 to 6 rounds in between, like during that whole training camp. So it's still a lot, but I mean, I mean, in order for you to be at your best inside a pro fight, you got to simulate an actual fight. How could you get good in fighting if you're not actually, competing and sparring like that?
Yeah, if back in the day, remember all I used to do was spar. I don't hit the bag. The bag was not going to hit me back, and the awkward movements I do won't even look right on the bag.
Yeah.
All right. So I know a lot of fighters like, and also you got. I thought it was weird at first, but your tattoo, I don't know why you placed it right there, but that's a dope spot for a tattoo.
It is, right? Thank you, man. I know at first, like a couple of years after I got it, because I got it when I was 17. Like 2 years after, I was like, man, why the fuck did I get this tattoo right here? But then it just started growing on me, and everybody likes it now. I'm like, oh yeah, it is kind of cool now. So
good decision.
I don't regret it anymore.
Yeah, a lot of people who get tattoos at 17, it's usually a butterfly on the lower back. So you're doing good.
Yeah, exactly. So I got boxing gloves, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. So a fighter like you've been, even when you're like out of shape, air quotes, you still have an athletic body your entire life, but you have to always maintain weight and be in shape. At 50 years old, how much does Joseph Diaz think he's going to weigh?
At 50 years old, damn, I think I'll be about like $160. $160, man. I think the max I'll be is like 165, because I already told myself, I promised myself that if I'm like 65, like 50 years old, I'm not gonna be more than 160. I'm not gonna get fat. My goal is to get probably heavy and husky, not fat. I won't allow myself to get fat.
I think Prince Nassim, he got pretty big, and Ricky Hatton.
Oh yeah, hey dude, see, and that's the thing, man. See, I don't want to be like that, because damn, he's huge right now.
Yeah, but like I get it. You have to make weight your whole life. I can't do it because I haven't been making weight my whole life. But if you've been making weight since you've been like 7, you're allowed to be
now
fat.
He's just like, fuck it, feed me.
Yeah, and he's walking around with his shirt off. He don't give zero fucks. I respect it.
I know. Maybe when I'm 50 years old, I'm already set. I have all my businesses and everything. I might be the same. Like, man, fuck it. Just feed me a hot Cheeto here and there.
Yeah. So after boxing, let's talk about that first. But what's next career wise? I know we have the pandemic going on and everyone's quarantined and can't leave their house. Luckily, you have a new house, so you can have some fun at your new house. But
Yeah, exactly.
After all this is said and done, what's next for Joey?
So what's next for me is a possibility of fighting in July. I was supposed to fight in May and fight Tevin Farmer for the rematch because he did have a rematch clause. But since I got that big ass cut during the fight, my doctors and my surgeon and everybody said that I won't be ready to actually start training camp till May. So I'm looking to fight in July, and I believe the IBF ordered me to fight the mandatory, which is a Russian. He's 15-0 with 12 KOs. He's a pretty strong fighter. So it's gonna be a good fight. So I'm thinking about defending my title in July.
Oh, awesome. And after, because you got a lot, 32 fights before you're 32. That's a lot.
Yeah.
How many fights do you see yourself having, and what age would you like to hang up the gloves?
I want to. My goal is to hang up the gloves at the age of 32, 33 max. I want to stop fighting when I'm 33, and it just matters on how many fights I'll be fighting between that time period. So if I fight 3 to 2 times a year after that, I'll probably have about like 15 more fights. So maybe I think I'll probably fight. I'll probably have about like 50 fights under my record.
Nice. And
50 pro fights, man. That's insane. Can you imagine at the age of 33, 50 pro fights?
That's nuts.
Damn.
And it's not those
crazy.
And it's not those pro fights like where you get most of your fights in like Tijuana in a weekend. Like you have like
exactly.
You have like you're fighting.
I know, and these next fights are gonna be like fucking tough ass fights, like guys in the elite division and stuff, and all these elite fighters because I'm planning on moving up in weight too to 135. So from 130 to maybe 140, I'll be fighting in that weight class. Like later on when I'm like 32, 33, I'll probably be at 140 at that time. And man, it's gonna be crazy, man. I'm excited for the journey though, man. I've been dreaming about this ever since I was a little kid, and just to actually see everything materializing and me actually becoming a pro fighter and fucking went to the Olympics and now signed with Golden Boy and becoming a world champion, man. Dude, I'm just living my dream and I'm just very thankful. So I'm just gonna ride it out, man, and just keep on doing everything right and just enjoying every step of the way and every moment of it.
Awesome, man. Yo, I'm super proud of you. Let's end on that note. That's a good note, man. Super proud of you. Wish you all the success in the world. Enjoy your new house.
Thank you, Ken.
Tell your pops I said what's up, but he doesn't want that smoke.
Will do, bro. Hey, good seeing you again, man. You take care, all right, bro?
All right, bro.
God bless.
Later.
Love you too, man.